Making a web page is not only a technical or design task, but a philosophical one. Historically, making a homepage required answering existential questions. Do I have something to say to the world? What can that be? Taken from a 2014 blog post by Olia Lialina, professor of new media, this quote encapsulates the retrospective analyses being undertaken on the web server GeoCities. Launched in 1994, GeoCities made the internet accessible to the public by grounding it in the rhetoric of both place and community. Users were given their own websites, hosted for free in neighbourhoods relevant to their theme or topic. Broadway hosted sites about musical theatre, while the Enchanted Garden was reserved for children's websites. At its peak, the server hosted over 186 million URLs and 7 million people from around the world. As such, there was uproar when its purchaser Yahoo decided to pull the plug on the site in 2009. GeoCities' closure saw freelance archivists scrambling to preserve GeoCities' history, collecting around a terabyte of web page snapshots. These web pages are freely accessible through the Wayback Machine, a 641GB download on Internet Archive, or by navigating reconstructions such as the GeoCities Gallery. Growing concern about the ephemerality of internet resources and contemporary archiving limitations illustrate the research context behind the GeoCities archives and illuminate key ethical concerns around the web page's preservation. Did the people making personal websites in the late 1990s foresee that their existential questions or personal details could become permanent and globally accessible? Accessing the archives through platforms such as the GeoCities Gallery provides an eerie experience, not unlike walking through a deserted town and peering through the windows of abandoned houses. Milligan expands upon this eerie sense of place, examining how spatial metaphors were key to GeoCities' culture and its lasting appeal as the ruins of a robust web community that mattered in the lives of many people. Having this unprecedented number of historical documents at our fingertips from people who would largely be excluded from the historical record presents both opportunity and dilemma. Milligan endorses a combination of distant data mining and close textual analysis when dealing with the surplus of archive pages, highlighting how word frequencies, topic modelling, and media extraction provide insight into how GeoCities operated as a unique digital microcosm. Both the sense of belonging highlighted by Milligan and the engaging aesthetics of GeoCities make the archives a poignant source of nostalgia. McRae highlights the nostalgic offshoots of GeoCities, such as the GeoCities Isa, which transforms modern websites into the 1990s aesthetics of GeoCities. By referencing Milligan's focus on spatial and homestead metaphors of a site, McRae emphasises how nostalgia for GeoCities can be understood as homesickness. McRae's work demonstrates the folklorization of GeoCities as digital audiences craft an understanding of the past based on their nostalgic view of the archived resources. This shows the restorative and reflective nostalgia evoked by the GeoCities archives, as they speak to both personal and communal longing, residing in the grey area between history and myth, documentation and love letter. Preserving and analysing the web pages of millions of everyday people is rife with ethical dilemmas. A broad aesthetic appropriation, as observed by McRae, can avoid delving into personal details that were archived, building upon the communal understanding of the early web's visuals. However, doing some of the sociological research detailed by Milligan requires close readings of individuals' personal websites. Milligan addresses these ethical concerns in a collaborative work with Lin et al., analysing the GeoCities archives according to contemporary privacy by obscurity, expectations, and perceivable risk to individuals under analysis. While the archives are democratic in preserving users who would typically be excluded, a quick explore of the GeoCities galleries reveals everything from late 1990s resumes to children's photographs uploaded on their or their parents' websites. As such, Lin et al. Determined that the research using the archive should be considered based on context and scale, as efforts to re-identify previously anonymous users undermines what we might reasonably expect were the original norms and goals of most GeoCities users. The ruins of GeoCities have been revisited and revitalised by many different parties since the website's collapse in 2009. The data saved is unique as a resource for seeing how people viewed and interacted with the internet in the late 1990s, presenting numerous nostalgic or sociological research opportunities. Whatever we use the GeoCities data for, it's important to respect the privacy of all individuals who are archived, whether intentionally or otherwise.